Welcome to all new US box office trackdown. First, let's see how many movies went out from this week's US box office trackdown. My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising, went out from number 10, did 2 weeks. Impractical Jokers, the movie, went out from number 9, did 3 weeks. Birds of Prey went out from number 8, did 5 weeks. Now, let's begin with this week's US box office trackdown. On number 10 is Bad Boys for Life, coming from number 7 in its 9th week, taking $1.1 million this week, grossing $204.3 million in total. On number 9 is Emma, coming from number 6 in its 4th week, taking $1.3 million this week, grossing $9.9 million in total. On number 8 is The Call of the Wild, coming from number 5 in its 4th week, taking $2.2 million this week, grossing $62.1 million in total. On number 7 is The Way Back, coming from number 3 in its 2nd week, taking $2.4 million this week, grossing $13.4 million in total. On number 6 is Sonic the Hedgehog, coming from number 4 in its 5th week, taking $2.5 million this week, grossing $145.8 million in total. On number 5 is The Hunt, a new entry doing its first week, taking $5.3 million this week. On number 4 is The Invisible Man, coming from number 2 in its 3rd week, taking $5.9 million this week, grossing $64.3 million in total. On number 3 is I Still Believe, another new entry doing its first week, taking $9.1 million this week. On number 2 is Bloodshot, also new entry doing its first week, taking $9.2 million this week. On number 1 is Onward, remaining on number 1 in its 2nd week, taking $10.6 million this week, grossing $60.4 million in total. Thanks for watching.